let's get some paper out. I might do cold press this time. What's up, Mel? What's up, Chell? Well, it's copyright free, so we do what we gotta do to get on the tube. I thought I had way more hot press than this, but apparently I do not. I'm sorry, cold press. Can I pop out the chat? I gotta be able to pop out the chat, right? What's up, Tara? Alright, I'm gonna try to close out YouTube and see if the chat keeps going. Alright, somebody say something in the chat. That way I can see it keeps going. If it does, that's awesome. It's really awesome. That means I don't have to have... I'm committed, dude. I need to be committed, probably. I mean, it's jazz music. How can you not like jazz music? Did not mean to turn it up. I'm trying to turn it down. And the iPad is different. Anyways, how's y'all nights going? Pretty good? Lacey, how are you? What I like about YouTube is you're able to see the palette. And to me, that's a huge thing. What's up, D? Y'all just very lucky I don't make y'all listen to marching band music, because I'll do it. Oh, that's right, you're busy, ML. Feels bad, man. I need to focus this guy. First YouTube live? For me? No, I've done a few. Like I said, I like them because you're able to see the whole palette. It is jazz. I'm so down for jazz. This is the stuff I've been putting on the YouTube videos lately, because it's just kind of chill. I'd imagine most people mute anyways. And it's kind of like New Orleans Johnny, right? I might have to put that thing back in forward to this, because I'm going to make sure the thing is focused before I record. Fumbo's a thing? Nah, I don't think so. Nice. The first instrument I played was flute. And then I cleverly swapped over to tuba. Because you didn't have to buy a tuba. Every school had tuba. Fun fact, I bought a sax when I was 23 to learn Us and Them by Pink Floyd, the sax solo. I learned it, but that was about it. And then I think I lost it in a storm, if I remember right. It feels like it's too low, but then it feels like it's too high. I don't know. All right, we got coffee, we got paper, we got paint, we got patience, we got all the good things. All right, so the goal today is to do kind of a, yeah, see? Good old jazz, blasting right after. Yeah, sax was fun. Hardest instrument I ever tried to play was cello. Cello was different. And I've played string instruments my whole life. Blues. What we're gonna do is get a basic sky wash down first. This is one of like the more simple skies, I think. Is it good? I feel like it's good. Maybe we'll turn the old aperture up a little bit. Yeah, that's good there. Aperture of 5. I'll take that. All right, we're gonna pre-wet the paper. The colors I'm gonna be using are gonna be ultramarine, English Venetian red, which is like a burnt sienna, and I might go orange. Let's make it a little bright. It could be really cool bright. Why does this song sound familiar? No, I changed keys. Okay. It sounded like Pink Floyd for a second. It sounded like man, what was that? I don't know. It's a strange one. All right, so the goal with wetting your paper is to not have any buckles. What I normally try to do is just get it kind of saturated. Brush off the excess if I'm doing a sky. Yeah, right? English Venetian red. We're gonna call it EVR. Sounds less bougie. But it's a really nice kind of reddish burnt sienna. I like it a little bit more than I like burnt sienna, honestly. I'll show you on the swatch real quick. What's up, Kate? All right, so you've got, oh wait, I'm showing it to the wrong camera. Got this guy, burnt sienna, and this one's a little bit more red. That's the English Venetian red. I need to get myself a big brush and stop trying to do washes. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Bethany. This thing, to be honest with you, you can get like a 1-inch flat wash, and it does a trick. I use one of those forever. If I can send my little brush set or whatever, but this guy saves a lot of time. So I do want to make sure this is pretty saturated. I just don't want any channels on it. So I'm gonna let that water kind of soak in a little bit. Sounds like a therapy tool. I think it gets a little bit better if we're talking about the music. All right, what about now? Can you hear me now? How that just ruins the audio on anything. That is insane. Okay, we're good. Okay, yeah, I think it was just trying to get my mic again. Those spam calls are gonna be the death of me. That is infuriating. All right, so we got a good wash here. I guess I will use ultramarine. I'm gonna take over this red over here with that Venetian red. Call it pearly white. Just doing a sky right now. Really easy sky, actually. If it's Stevie, you know what? She's aggravating me enough. I don't even want to talk to her. And then we'll do orange. I'll put it into that buff a little bit. That orange reactivates really well, actually. All right, so what I want to do is grab that blue. This is going to be really light for the most part. Everything's still pretty sheened here. What's up, Am? And we'll just kind of create a little gradient here. I don't want the blue to come all the way down. We're gonna grab some of that orange. The orange shouldn't make a green because we've got some red in there. So we just do. What I want to do is start breaking this down right in the middle. This is the Venetian red. And then back to that orange. This will be our water for the most part. Boom, 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 boom. And straight back to the blue. And we can kind of play with the water here a little bit. Maybe even a little bit deeper on that blue. So a little bit more saturated. I'm going to add a little bit of that English Venetian red to it. Should make almost a purple. Make the water kind of fade off this way. Big wave moves. This is going to be our horizon right here. Bam, 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 bam. I'm gonna lift a few more of these little highlights back here. Create some of those little wave actions. Keeping this one simple. Ah, yeah, I could see that though. I like Disney World. I don't know about y'all. Smooth out some of these. Some of these little hard lines here. A lot of this will end up being dry brush. Where do we want to put our sun at? Yeah, it should be fine there. All right, Chelsea's favorite part. We'll go ahead and heat gun this guy. Didn't record again. That spam call is pissing me off. I think the spammers know when I'm live. I'll say that much. I'm not going to brush off that much, but we'll turn it into something. Got a really nice wash here. This reminds me of Pink Panther. Okay, good to go there. I love how I leave the room for a minute and a half knowing he's done with painting. No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. I did screw up. I kind of dried off a little bit too much there, trying to use my left hand, but not very ambidextrous at all. All right, this is good paper, so we can tape over the horizon again, which should help our life out a lot. Damn, kids. Thank you, dude. We're about to make it a little bit better, too. This is just a super simple sky, honestly. It's a fun one. About right there, I guess. Terry, how are you, love? And I'm rubbing the hell out of this edge here. I don't want it to bleed down. So we're going to use the English Venetian red, a little bit of the orange, and a lot of the purple, so the ultramarine and the Venetian red. Later, Mill. So, soft brush, re-wetting everything again. Try to fix my little screw up over here. I should be able to blend this out a little bit more. We should cover that with some clouds, though. All right, so I got a good sheen here. I don't have any channels. What's up, Kendra? We're gonna start with the English Venetian red first. A decently thick mix of it. Maybe a touch of blue to that just to darken it. And all I'm gonna do is kind of bring this in just a little bit towards the bottom of the sky. We can tell there's a lot of water here. Not a big deal, really. As long as you know where it's at. So we're bringing in some of those sky clouds there. A little bit of that orange. Really thick. We can start blending that back in a little bit more. All I'm doing is creating that sunset for the most part. Like moving the motion in a certain direction, kind of like these guys here. You could do a little bit bigger on this back side over here. All still kind of wet for the most part. The brush kind of dictate here and there too. Then that English Venetian red and ultramarine. I'm gonna lean it more purple. This is a wee bit darker. As this dries, I'm able to get in some more solid tones, and the paint is a little bit thicker. Bring a few more here. Skinnier as we get down towards the horizon line. Brushing a few of these kind of bigger clouds here. In that motion. I'm not going really crazy with this sky, honestly. Yeah, a little bit more shape to this guy. A lot of water right here. Kind of gathered And where this is wet up here, we can actually do some more ultramarine into that. So lean it kind of a lighter purple. I'm trying to look at my paper and see if I still have enough sheen for this. Got some light on this guy, so maybe we can pull off a little bit of. Kind of want to go bold and do a really big cloud here, but there we go. Yeah, let's have some fun. We're not learning if we're not having fun, right? And maybe big spot here. Got no reference for this, we're just kind of playing. And of course we're gonna have a bigger shape cloud here. Drop this down a little bit. Very wet right there. These are the clouds you'll see a lot closer to yourself. Pull out a little light there. Get a little bit more blue to that. Towards the top here. Get a few more different colors. Okay, keep that pretty simple. What I'm going to do is probably be on here for about an hour. That way I've got something to kind of throw up on the Patreon. And I might do some TikTok after, depending on how everything goes. That spam call kind of threw me for a loop. Is Emily still in here? If she's still in here, I want to fuss her. I don't know how you don't like ultramarine. Like, I'm loving all that granulation from it up here. What's up, Jeannie? I'm fine, I'm fine. Hello, Jess. So what would you say your favorite blue is then? I know you said the phthalos and all that, but like what would be your sky blue? little bit of bleed there. Not a big deal. Really digging that sky a lot. That is ultramarine. Ultramarine, it's my favorite sky color. Cerulean buff titanium usually. Oh, that's not bad. I could take that one. I do feel like phthalos are a little too strong for skies. Or at least like when I paint skies. Prussian's not bad if I water it down. I did have Prussian only in that that one palette. This is against, so your eyes will do a lot of stuff to your colors. I think it's a little bit more vibrant to you because everything else around it. But I water my ultramarine down a lot. I want to try something here. I have not tried this yet with this brush. Kind of curious. What I'm gonna try to do is lean this kind of ombre. This is gonna be weird. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Get rid of some water. This is the first time I try this. Let's hope we have enough stuff on here. Alright, that's kind of cool actually. Alright, that's kind of wet down there. I'm gonna take that ultramarine, Venetian red, create that purple. All I want to do is create a few more of these little darker waves around here. Damp brush. Soften it out a little bit more. I am loving this music. I'm gonna take the liner brush. Smaller lines here. Just kind of dance around a little bit. Let's turn those guys off. Letting the liner brush dance a good bit here. A bit more of that purple. Get a little bit A bit more saturation here. Yeah, I think that's why I like it, honestly, too. Some of this is still very wet, and some of it is not. So grab a few more little spots like that. Soften that out just a little bit more. A lot of hard lines here that I don't like necessarily. I'm not going to take them all out. Get rid of some of those edges. And then some thicker paint. I do like that effect we got with that, though. Some paper rippage there. And dry it. What we'll do is turn that into a ship, because why not? I know I always brag about this paper not ripping. I normally only does it when I don't want it to. Turn it into two ships. All right, what do we think about those ships? Some of that warm red, a little bit more opaque. Always like when they throw in really strong colors. Could even add like a little dot back here maybe. That purple, a little bit of that Venetian red. on the horizon line. Go with the purple first. I want this super saturated. Like the Venetian red. There we go. Ah, the washi tape screwed me again. Well, the ship was because my paper ripped. I wouldn't stress that too much. That's kind of playing by ear there. What I ended up doing actually is throwing another guy over here. Super skinny line here. Cool. Let's try this guy. Dee, do you want me to send you a link to that tape that I use? Yeah, no problem. If I don't do it right after this, just remind me. I do tend to forget things for some reason. Hey, Fanny. I had a little paper ribbage there. Right there at the horizon line. I guess I didn't dry it good enough before I taped down. Gotta close my eyes again. You weren't here for all the music, but... And it shows them the pearly whites. But that's a pretty simple painting for the most part. I mean, you could probably knock that out in like 15, 20 minutes if you really just kind of brush straight through it. What I like most is this little spot right here. Like, that might not be a bad idea for future waters. Do you want to do another one like that? See, I hear it too, Terry. I don't think this is it, but I do hear it. Well, the shark has pretty teeth, dude. All right, but I'm not the only one then. Kind of want to do a lavender sky. See, I've always heard the Louis Armstrong version. I'll do another simple one. Yeah, what I'll do is probably finish this quick one real quick and then go on TikTok. I want to listen to some good music too. And it's Saturday. It's the last night I have before we get back to normal. That has to be McNight. What's my favorite, guitar or bass? Damn, that's hard. If I could play lead guitar, I'd love guitar more than bass. But being as though I can groove pretty good, it's probably bass. That's what I came up on. Don't worry about it, I'm safe. Every time I get on YouTube, they want to have these issues. What about you, Tommy? Guitar or bass, which one? I do want to try that effect one more time with the brush, so we're going to do a big one. Should be good about there. That's hard. P bass thumps, jazz bass has like that chang, that chainy sound to it that I love a lot. My last bass was a jazz bass though. It sounds so good. Gibson J45. Nice. Dun, 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 dun. So at least you have a good taste. We're gonna go lavender here. I'm gonna mix it a little bit. Let's do ultramarine blue. We're gonna take over this whole area right here. A little bit of Naples. Do get kind of a green here, not a big deal. Red will kind of neutralize it out a little bit. Let's go warm red. Let me get this kind of muted purple, which we can lean more blue. There we go. Decently lavender there. Still got some red in here, shouldn't be a big deal though. What we'll do is just kind of wet everything down. This is going to be lavender on lavender basically. This is hot press, by the way. Same thing, letting it soak. Hot press does dry faster. So if you're kind of a slower painter, it is a kind of a hassle. But to me, it makes way better washes. I don't know. Clear up some of this water real quick. All right, let's get that lavender in. And what I'm gonna do is tilt this board just a little bit. Because I do want it to come down just a little bit. I don't want this super dark. water down here. We'll light it down. Good gradient. Maybe a little bit darker towards the top here. Just get it on a little bit of an incline. This is why I like having the board. What I'm gonna end up doing is maybe putting a little bit more darks here. Let this kind of bleed in a little bit. You know what? Let's do like a fog. So I'm gonna take that purple down all the way down here. And I want this a little bit darker, so maybe some more ultramarine. Maybe a little bit more of that warm red. There we go. It's a little bit better there. And all I'm going to do is plant this back into just beat the devil out of my brush. I want to soften this up. I don't want to go in there with a bunch of water because I'm going to create blooms that I don't want. I'm going to soften this whole edge up here. And this will kind of give us that little mist look. If you go in with this with any water whatsoever, you're gonna have a bad time. A little bit thicker paint towards the bottom, same thing. That warm red, warm blue. I want this to lean a little bit more blue than anything. Yeah, we could put some of these big little motions in here while it's kind of wet. And the brush kind of dance a little bit. And my charcuterie board. Just want to make sure your motion's good. Wash off my brush really good. See how this is kind of curling on me here? I'm gonna dry my brush off and do the same thing, just kind of soften that edge a little bit more again. And we can lift a few highlights on here. Damp, dry brush. All right, not gonna mess with that anymore. Let's dry this guy real quick. Yeah, as much as I want to use YouTube, for some reason the internet out here does not like it for lives. I do think I've got the reset down pretty good though. All I gotta do is close the app out, restart it, and it resumes for me, thankfully. It doesn't just end the live. Because I think if you start a whole new live, it ends up changing the link, which is not good for me. I did not. Can you not hear me? Can anyone hear me? Okay, good. All right, so what we can do here is kind of the same thing we did. I almost want to try like brushing like a wave motion in this, maybe. Just like one fell swoop. Like one fell swoop of wave. So like we can do, what I don't want to do is get too much water on here. So what I might do is like really light touch. Yeah, I didn't do like I expected it. All right, we're learning stuff here. Let's make some more paint. We'll make it kind of bold. Same warm red, same warm blue. Getting the chunk dirty. I don't know if I like the way that motion was going anyway, so maybe we can do straight down maybe? Let's do that ombre one more time, a little bit of blue, red. I want that red to be purple though, but I do want that blue to be blue. Curl this way. It could be a really good motion for mountains too, though. If I'm being honest. It's not a great sound. Then I'll take our guy here. We can brush some little waves back here. Dancing. Green, warm red. I think I kind of like where this is at. I don't want to touch it more, but I'm gonna. All right, let's leave that be. We'll throw some birds towards the top up here. Let's end this here. Yeah, it just felt right for this one, I'm not gonna lie. Because it's kind of like a C. Like a mean C. I will not put trees in this one though. Alright, let's try this guy. That was a pretty easy one though. I do like that motion of the waves. I might experiment a little bit more with that. Well, it makes sense because of seagulls. That's the only reason why I even thought to do it, to be honest with you. Alright, that's gonna be it for the YouTube. Let's untape this guy and see what we got with that color. I like that mix a lot. Warm red, warm blue, a little bit of Naples in there even. Super simple. Then we've got, where's that other guy? So 2 water scenes. I'm not mad about it at all. Do appreciate you guys hanging out and dealing with the BS that YouTube brings out here for some reason. Dragons. Like I said, I'll probably be on TikTok in about 20, 30 minutes or so. So if y'all are still bored, come visit over there. If not, not a big deal. But mucho, mucho, mucho love. And this will be up for all Patreon people for replay. So, later nerds.